everyone. Dr. Vernita Glenn White here, known as Dr. V. Thank you so much for coming back. We have been enjoying the series of Embracing Grit for Greatness, How to Become Professionally Powerful Through Personal Empowerment, which is my newest book that I released back in December of 2020. And yeah, I am excited to go through these check-ins with you. That's what we've been doing. Grit check-ins over the 5 characteristics that I've used to describe my process through this book, which was courage, conscientiousness, endurance, resilience, and excellence versus perfection. And if you don't know me, again, I'm Dr. V. I'm a life strategist and empowerment coach, and I'm also the CEO and founder of the Vibe Institute, where we help high-achieving professionals and individuals vibe higher in their influence, brilliance, and excellence so they can be their most powerful and empowered selves. And as a result of working with us, those individuals break their personal glass ceilings so they can show up more powerful in their personal lives, their profession, and their career, their life, and their career. I said all of that. But you get the point, like, and I've said this before in some of the other videos, like, this group of people holds a special place in my heart because people tend to overlook us because they think we've accomplished so much, and on paper we have, and it looks good, but there are a lot of us who have, additional hopes and dreams and desires and goals, but we haven't given ourselves permission to do that, because we haven't focused so much on our personal lives. Like, everything has been so much about our professional lives. And I'm here to say we no longer have to do that. We can be our whole selves, still be brilliant in every area of our lives, and we don't have to stay stuck on this one path because people expect us to do that. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. We only have like 2 more to go to today, and then in our next series. And we're talking about excellence versus perfection, big U. And again, I start with a quote and then I read through it. And this is my first time reading it live. Yes, I read it and went through the edits and all of that, but I haven't gone through my own book since it's been released and since I purchased my own copy. Yes, I purchased my own copy. I think I purchased 3 or 4 of them because if I don't support myself, I can't expect others to support me. And then I also got my shipment that I can use for book signings or whatever the case may be. So I get excited when I read this. I'm like, I wrote that. All right, so big U, and again, if you don't know, big U is professional, business, career U, and then little u is who you are at home sometimes, around your friends, the little voice that keeps you small, that's little u. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about big U today. All right, so quote, it's hard to be a diamond in a rhinestone world. And when I tell you who wrote this quote, it's gonna make so much more sense. It's Dolly Parton. She says it's hard to be a diamond in a rhinestone world. And yes, I put that with excellence versus perfection. Says, as a high achiever, and we already defined what that is, so you probably struggle with some level of perfectionism, but it isn't the dominant trait in your career or professional life. You may have subconsciously embodied the mindset of excellence by displaying a few, if not all of these qualities I assembled from a variety of psychologists. You decided to take risks and focus on your efforts. You were spontaneous in your career decisions, and you allowed the process to flow naturally. You remained mostly confident along your path, and you focused on the journey to the next level. Switch pages. Finally, you made a mistake. If you made a mistake, you were more accepting and most likely encouraged yourself to keep moving. Let's pause right there. We've given ourselves a lot of grace professionally. Like, we say we're hard on ourselves, but truth be told, like, we we have been forgiving. We've given ourselves grace if we made a mistake professionally. We know that, oh, I can just fix it tomorrow, or it'll be okay. You know, we may have a moment where we're freaking out, but we forgive ourselves professionally. And then we move on. And then even in business, in our careers, if someone does something, we are more forgiving. There's more grace there, and we know that as long as you tried your best or you put forth the best effort you could, then all is well, right? And then like I wanted to know, like after I read through those traits, I wanted to know if I was right. Did any of those resonate with you? And if so, put that in a comment down below, like which one resonated with you. Which trait stood out to you the most? And you know, let me go back and just read them one more time. I said you decided to take risk and focus on your efforts. You were spontaneous in your career decisions and you allowed the process to flow naturally. You remained mostly confident along your path and you focused on the journey to your next level. And finally, if you made a mistake, you were more accepting and most likely encouraged yourself to keep moving. So that's why I want to know which one of those stood out to you the most. And then I said, think of a situation where you focus on excellence over perfection in your career or professional life. How did it feel? Did you notice the difference when you embrace excellence over perfection? How so? And excellence, and how I've seen this and how I talked about this in the book is, you know, we have this standard for ourselves that, you know, as long as we showed up and did our best, as long as we put forth the effort, we let it go. We don't analyze over it too much. We don't let it stop us. Like if it was a proposal we needed to submit, yeah, we're gonna put our all in it. And of course, we may have some, oh, I could have done better, but we put it out there. If it was a project or a phone call or some products that we had to develop, we know that, look, I've given my all and this is what the people are going to get, right? We do that in our professional lives all the time. If we're speakers and we've given a speech or a presentation, we know that there may be areas of improvement, but we know we showed up 100% of ourselves, even when we don't feel like it. You know, even if we've shown up like at 80% before, 75%. But guess what? Because of who we are and what we do, that is some people's 150%. So to them, it looks like we've done the doggone thing, but we're pretty good with ourselves. We feel pretty good majority of things we produce, right, in our professional lives. So I want you to think of a moment that has happened to you. Where have you been like the most, where you focus on excellence, like you didn't analyze and allow something to stop you because it wasn't like 100% perfect, or things like that, a project, a phone call, a product, whatever the case may be. Think about that, and how did you feel once it left? You know, it's like, did you feel accomplished, and what did that feeling feel like to you? So for example, if you gave a speech um at a conference or a presentation, and maybe you saw a recording and you could have done this better or said this better, but at the end of the day, you got the job done. How did you feel with putting out that product and it wasn't 100% perfect? That's all of that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's because we can do that in our professional lives. You know, we have this level of standard. We have the standard, and once we meet it, we're good. So I want you to sit with that and see how that felt, you know, where you really did trust the journey and the process, and you didn't focus on being perfect because you weren't competing with anybody else. It was you, and you got the job done. It made a great standard because you didn't slack or anything, but you know that you weren't going to analyze over it because you weren't going to feel judged, right? And that's really what it was about. You're not feeling judged, and it's like, it is what it is, right? So I think in one of the series I made like a blooper or something. I couldn't get my words out, but I left it in there. I could have taken it out, could have edited, but then that was perfectionism coming in. It was like, hey, you know, it has to be this. And I was like, no, we're just going to leave it in there because the message is the message is the message, right? And so I want you to think about a time that you've done something like that and you still survived. You still felt good about yourself. And yeah, let me know. And on this one, you should be bold enough at this point. We spent some time together. So go ahead and put it down in the comments below. And I welcome all the messages that I do receive across my platform. So thank you still. But for this one, for excellence, now come on now. We've all have had our excellent moments, and you could be able to put that in the comments below. So let me know your most excellent moment. And the most important thing is, I said this before, how did it make you feel when you embraced that? Right? How did it make you feel? I know that it makes me feel great when I release that feeling that I have to be perfect for someone else. Like I can do the best that I know that I can do and put it out in the world. And I feel relieved. I feel great. Maybe a little exhausting, but I accomplished and it felt so good, right? And my mental capacity is intact, right? So, yeah, let me know down below if you are interested in purchasing the book. You can go to embracinggritforgreatnessbook.com. Go through and read along the side, hear what people are saying. You can also purchase the book from Amazon, but even if you did that, I still want you to come back to the site and then put in your order number along with some other information, just like your name and email, so that you can go ahead and get the bonuses that I've attached to the book, right? Because I want to be able to provide you even with even more value than you've asked for. And then, that's just another way for us to connect, right? And then there's also like some next steps if you want to take some next steps. And then maybe you just needed like a jump start or fine tuning to your personal development journey. So I want to be able to support you and be your partner along that journey as well. And if you've done that already and you've enjoyed it, I want to hear from you. What did you think about the bonuses? But if you want another way to connect with me or go to another level, you can go to drvernitafreegift.com. It'll be down at the bottom, drvernitafreegift.com. And then that is 10 ways to look good on paper and in life. It is a masterclass and a guide, and it is similar. It relates to the theme of this book right here. So just different ways to give you access and to provide you with some information and some action steps. And yeah, this has been exciting for me. We have another series, another part of our series to go. It's almost bittersweet because it's coming to an end. But hey, this has been amazing for me, and I hope it's been amazing for you as well. I am Dr. V, and thank you so much for listening and learning with me, because we are a community of learners together, and I will see you next time. Bye.